I have a PC that doesn't care about possible hazards. Well, then he's screwed. Because you're gonna slam him with some hazards, aren't you? How do I punish him for? Don't punish him! You don't punish PCs. You don't punish players. That is not your job. My next Kickstarter, Layers and Legends, is launching April 5th and will bring you 2 hardcover books packed with 5th edition resources. The first book, Layers and Legends, will contain an anthology of over 20 5e adventures spanning levels 1 to 15 and more than 100 new monsters to terrorize your players with. The second book, Loot and Lore, will contain a broad collection of Game Master resources, magic items, traps, puzzles, NPCs, villains, and more that you can drag and drop into your game. And we'll have a map pack that will give you all the maps from both books in digital format, allowing you to easily import them into the virtual tabletop of your choice. So click that link below and follow the Layers and Legends Kickstarter so that you'll get notified when it launches. Don't miss out on the early bird specials. We're not punishing. There are consequences. There are consequences. And you might be like, well, Luke, what's the difference? There's no difference. Yes, there is. There's a difference in mentality. It is the difference between a dungeon master who is out to get their players and to punish their players, and a dungeon master who is there to run the game in an unbiased way and have there be consequences for foolish actions. There's a huge difference between me having a vendetta and being upset that a player's not being careful and looking to punish them, and me running a fair and unbiased game where there are consequences for your actions. And if you are careless, bad things might happen. And if you're not careless, then things will go better for you. Now, it is a mindset difference, in my opinion, but it's a very important, distinctive one that is important for dungeon masters to grasp. So we don't punish characters. We don't punish players. We never do that. That is not our goal. That is not our aim. We don't want that. It is not about punishment. The game is not about punishing and getting even. It is about collectively having fun and enjoying ourselves. Let me finish the question now. Sorry. You found the rant button and you were like, poke, 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 poke. It's like, Luke, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. All right. How do I establish consequences for his reckless actions without just killing him? Do I kill him or no? You never kill someone intentionally. As a dungeon master, you never intentionally kill a character. That is not your job. Now, you play bad guys, you role play bad guys who do want to win, and many of them do want to kill the characters. So when you are role playing a bad guy, they might have the goal of killing the character. And in that case, you do your absolute best role playing that bad guy with their abilities and their hit points and their attack and all that kind of stuff to kill the characters. That is your goal. You are role playing them. That is your job right there. But you as the dungeon master are not trying to kill the characters. You are running the game. You're role playing the bad guys who want to kill the characters. There's a huge, massive difference. When I role play bad guys that are trying to kill the characters, I, the dungeon master, don't want the characters to die. I want them to win, but I'm also going to play my bad guys properly, and they're going to try to kill the characters even if I don't want them to. There is a big difference. It's a mental mindset thing. The distinction and the difference might be nebulous, perhaps, but it is an important one, because it is the difference between a fair dungeon master who runs challenging games and a dungeon master who runs DM versus player games and is out to get the players, and the players a lot of times loathe dungeon masters like those. So there's a huge difference there that makes for what could be an amazing game and what could be a miserable game. Literally, if they ignore hazards, you literally just have the hazards happen. There's nothing you need to do. Like literally, if there's a trap and they ignore the trap, they suffer the consequences of having stepped in the trap. Like you don't need to do anything else. They ignore the hazard, the consequences of that hazard happen to them. The solution is baked into the game. You as the dungeon master need do nothing more. I think it's as simple as that. And if your hazards don't have consequences baked into the game, they should. You don't walk into lava with no consequences. You don't jump off a cliff with no consequences. You don't walk through spike traps with no consequences. You need to have those consequences mechanically created and part of the game, obviously. And then the solution and the problem solves itself.